Where are we going? We're going somewhere.
We're going somewhere. We're going live.
Live?
Here we go.
All they do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All they do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All they do is talk, talk.
Are we live?
We are live.
I was wondering because you look a bit dead.
I do?
I'm joking. You look wonderful, David Lurphy, as always.
Is my lighting wrong?
No, your lighting looks perfect and you look perfect. I'm just teasing you. I had to bring you down a peg or two, you know. It's my job. I'm your little sister. I love that, by the way, because I always refer to you as my little brother. I don't know why, because you're not little at all. And then the other day, somebody said, well, he treats you like his little sister. And I thought, I prefer that. Brian Liggett has joined us. Hi, Brian, one of our wonderful leaders, Brian Liggett. Thank you. Good evening.
Hey, Brian.
Lofi, would you pay attention, please?
I am paying.
Really, I can tell you're very busy. It's like, I might as well not be, hello, 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 hello.
I've got to, Carl logging in on one.
All right. So those of you who are joining us right at this very moment on Talk Talk, because did you know that we are only broadcasting to our private group when we do it live? And then hundreds of people watch after the fact, because what we always find is that there is a few people who join us, are loyals, are faithfuls. And then after the fact, hundreds more watch. We routinely get 500, 600, 700. One of my original videos has got over 3,000 views. So we're definitely growing in popularity. Don't know why. David is as boring as heck. And I really have
I'm boring.
I'm teaching.
I realized I got to fix something.
All right. So while he's carrying on doing whatever it is that he's doing, let me tell you what our subject tonight is. Our subject tonight is social media and its effect on relationships. Because it seems to be that research bears out the fact that social media actually has a really negative effect on relationships. And it's odd you'd think that we are actually running this show and have a number of groups, in fact, that are dedicated to helping relationships. But if people are on social media anyway, we're going to use this medium to bring about healthy, positive change. Now, I have a theory about this because I was reading this research that says of 205 respondents. Why 205? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, there was 205 respondents, and they tracked these people, and the amount of time spent on social media pretty much correlated to the relationships breaking up. And I thought, that's so interesting. So if people spent more time on social media, David's just disappeared. Oh, there he is, back again.
I'm back.
If people spent more time on social media, it kind of meant that their chances of the relationship breaking up were higher. But then I gave it some thought. And I began to realize that when people are in an empty relationship, what are they going to do to turn to? You see, sometimes research is not always accurate because it really depends on the questions that are being asked and how they're asking. So if a person is spending more time on social media, it's because their relationship is empty and hollow in the first place, or they're seeking something. Would you agree with that, David?
I would agree with that. Yep, absolutely.
Well, stop grinning. I don't know what you're grinning at, but
You didn't. Well, okay.
What? Tell me.
My background was wrong. I put it on. It was on my other computer, but
Okay.
I have too many computers.
Lofi just figured out he did. Yeah, so here we go. He's got too many rooms, too many videos. Too many everything's.
Computers.
All right. So, hi, Rich. It's so good to see you for a change joining the show. Welcome. And by the way, guys, if you join the show, just say hi. Just wave at us. Give us a like or a love or a laughy face. Should we do the voting thing tonight?
Of course. I'll be pluses. I think I was hearts last time, so I'll be thumbs up.
Pluses. Give him a thumbs up. Give him a thumbs up if you like Lofi. If you're here and you like me, give me a little
hearts.
Give me a little heart. Make me feel happy. And give us a laughy face. Hi, Jill. My other big.
Hello, Jill Best. How are you?
So give me a little heart. give David a like, and it just gives us a little bit of an ego boost, makes us feel better about being up here.
She counts them.
I do. I'm very competitive.
One. With your abacus.
Okay, so David Lofi, I insist that you talk, otherwise it looks like that I'm doing all the talking. Right, I'm just waiting.
I'm waiting for you to finish talking. I didn't want to interrupt you.
What?
Tom Volkanuts joined us
Hey, Tom, one of our oldies.
from Las Vegas.
I don't mean one of you, you're old in age. I mean, you've been around for a while in our group. And hello, Ian from Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Or they're at work. So Kath Henry's joined us. Hello, Hearts.
Hello, Hearts, like
Come
stuff,
in, yeah.
big laughs.
Yeah, something I want to mention about what you were saying earlier about counting or how many people like watch a show. Oftentimes our shows live go from, by the time it's done, we see 120 to 300, depending on what day, what show, sometimes what it is, and how much we market it. This show we didn't really market at all, and we changed days. Were the two underlying factors of it. When you're watching, you'll see maybe 20, 10, 15. If you have two people in the same room, they all have different numbers. And the reason that is it's because who's your friends is what you're seeing. Your friends that are on there, not the total count of people watching. And we've been trying to figure that out for a long time. I finally discovered the answer to that, and I thought I would share with the group because it's so important to know. Are you texting somebody?
Yeah.
Are you okay? And tonight we're talking about social media and relationships and how it affects relationships. And there's a lot of good statistical data that we've.
Sorry, were you saying something? I was just busy on social media. What was that?
What? Are you not listening to me?
Sorry, I was captivated by something on Instagram.
Are you? So you saying you're not listening to what I'm saying?
What can I say? So Instagram was more interesting than you.
Yeah, maybe. I won't.
All right. So
I'm not going to argue that.
if you hear us bantering, by the way, folks, I just want to just say one thing. I love this dude over here. I love him a lot. He's the best bestie in the world. And he is like my brother, closer than a brother, actually. And when I tease him, it's because I love him. Okay. But I won't let anyone else say bad shit about him. I won't. It's only me. So Tom was saying I was just sending some love. Thanks. The love's for me. Love's for me. The thumbs up is for David. So Laura's going to probably give him a thumbs up because
I'm thumbs up.
And I won't even feel bad.
Brian Leggett says you're funny.
I am, I know. At least I'm not phony.
Well, you're funny looking, but.
I remember they used to say, if you're funny, is it funny ha-ha or funny peculiar?
It seems like it is. You're on Talk with David Lofi and Shanti Niven. Tonight's episode is on social media and relationships. We're going to be talking about the in-depth discussion of relationships and how social media can affect a relationship, making it helping the relationship, or does it harm the relationship? I think that depends. Also, you can catch our show on YouTube. We have Instagram. Talks is our Instagram page. And watch us on Facebook now, Wednesdays at 6:00.
Just started our Instagram page. Yeah.
Yeah, but something weird happened. It was like it stopped allowing posts.
Okay, so just remember, talk with an S. Talks. Because we've got some exciting news which we can't wait to release very soon, because Talks is on the move. You know, we have TED Talks, right? Which is all about new ideas. Well, we're going to be doing Talks, which is all about building relationships and connections and creating conversations without conflict. We're really tired. David and I are really tired of people attacking one another. And we want to show a different way, because that's part of why we banter and play around, because you can disagree, you can be different, very different. David and I are very different. He's male for starters. He's
good looking.
I'm a female, logical. I'm all emotional. He's on the spectrum. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. We come from different backgrounds. We're just so different. He speaks Americanese. I speak English. And He can't spell. I can. Sorry. But he's very intelligent and he can do lots of things that I can't do, I will admit, including he's very strong. And yes, okay, so there we go. Shanti got on social media, was not paying attention to David as part of the topic. Yes, that's quite right. We do want to point this out, that sometimes we use bad examples to prove our point.
Shanti got on social media and not paying attention to David as part of what?
That's what I was doing when I was on my phone.
I gotcha. Well, Tom, I like this one. So he says, I'm pretty sure me and David could get along and be good drinking buddies in our cowboy boots. But he says he's selling his love to you.
Shanti.
And he gives you a little winky.
Okay, so now I want to share something with you. And by the way, if my boyfriend's watching, I'm just, I was just giving Tom a wink. All right. Okay. David, I wanted to ask you a question, but I forgot what it was.
Was your question related to social media?
Right. So let me
look at it.
We were going to do a commercial. I had this great idea for a 30-second commercial for tonight's show. And so what it was a man sitting on his cell phone on social media, checking out photographs on Instagram of women in underwear and stuff like that. And his wife comes home and she comes in and she says, hello, my darling. And she gives him a kiss. And she sees he's busy on social media. So she makes a lovely meal and she does all these different things. And the next thing she comes up in front of him, and she does a very sexy dance and starts slowly stripping her clothing off. But of course, you see none of this on camera. It was all just going to be, she wants to get his interest. And he continues to look at his cell phone. And then finally, you just see her sad face as she gives up trying to get his attention. Next, cut to the next scene. You see him getting into bed. She's already in bed. He snuggles up behind her and he kind of goes, ha-ha, oh, ha-ha. Because now all these pictures have got him in the mood. And he goes up to her and he tries to get fresh with her. And she goes, get away from me. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. And so he says, you're never in the mood. Scene closed. And that was going to make the point for social media and relationships. Because listen, guys, if you've got somebody you love in front of you, this thing or the computer is not where you should be putting your face. You need to be spending time in conversation. You really do. As much as you guys love talk, this is a place you come to if you're lonely, if you're needing some help, you need to reach out to people. And as a couple, go in as a couple and share a few laughs. But if you're in a loving relationship and you have a love relationship, be careful that you don't spend too much of your time online, because you'll be neglecting what's the most important thing in life, and that is your relationships. That's what I believe. What do you believe, David?
I believe that people who, you're spending a lot of time on social media. I think, you need to get away from it. You need to step out, do some other things, not just spend all your time in social media. I'm sure that a lot of you have other things that you're doing as it is. I mean, some people, it's TV. So it's really, I don't think it's too big a difference from people watching TV to doing social media.
Well, yeah, and I don't think it's the medium that matters. And by the way, guys, I seem to have a bit of a shadow under my face. I don't know what's going on in the lighting. I think it's what catches your attention. And I one of the things that I went out for dinner myself the other night. I think actually I spoke to you on the phone from this place, Annabog. And I'm sitting in a booth all on my own. And something captivated me. I looked across a few booths. In fact, I very surreptitiously and sneakily took pictures because there were a couple of young ladies. I would say that they were in their 30s. And the thing that was so surprising to me is they were on the same side of their booth, but they were facing each other and they were engrossed in conversation. The reason it captivated me is because it's so rare. I looked around the restaurant and so many people on their cell phones who are really disconnected from one another. And so these two really engaged in conversation captivated me. And you know me, David, very well. When I'm in company of a person, I really give them my attention, fully give them my attention. Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot of people who come to me for coaching have actually landed up bursting out crying. And they say, I don't know why I'm crying. And I do know it's because I receive them and I'm there with them and I see them and I pay attention to them. I'm not distracted. So I guess this is what I'm trying to say to people. Social media is not a bad thing on its own. In fact, we're using social media to spread a really good message about connection, about conversation, about social skills, and most importantly, about love and relationships. But we're using this medium for that, but we want to encourage you not to let these things replace your relationships, right?
Art, you
David Whitey says,
really close. I'm like,
David Whitey says, wow for the producer. And Ellie, let's give her a clap. Ellie Ramirez.
right,
is our
Ellie
producer.
Ramirez, gets a clap.
We need to give her.
Wiley King says, good to see you guys. So I think, yeah, it's interesting that some of the statistics that are out there and information that's provided for that about social media and what it can cause. Some specialists in psychology assume that socialism can relate to other distance in a relationship, infidelity, or even addictions to social media. If it's used too much, social media could also lead to depression, anxiety, which are effects of a relationship with those around them.
David, can I stop you for a second? Because I think you had a little slip of the tongue back on. You said socialism. We're talking about social media.
No, I mean,
Not to correct you.
okay, I said socialism media. So could also lead to depression, anxiety. Socialism and social media could lead to depression and
Oh,
anxiety,
that's true.
which affects a person's relationship and those around them.
That was-
What?
that was a-
What?
that was a-
What are you asking me? What are you? I didn't say socialism, but
All
okay.
right, to get back to a little bit of fun, what I want to ask, I think we're going to make this show about our listeners, not about you and me. I just want to share before we move on a little bit, and I'd like you to think about stories, because stories are important. I was once married. Yep, it's true. And I hope to be married again one day and forever, like for my last marriage. The person I marry next will be the one I die with. But my last marriage, unfortunately, didn't work. He was an incredibly charming man and went to all sorts of lengths to win me over. But unfortunately, when we were married, things changed a little bit. One of the first warning signs for me was the fact that he was not willing to change his status on Facebook to married.
Hmm.
Now, I want to do a quick snap survey of those of you who are listening and watching by way of Facebook, our group. If your other half, if you got married to somebody, how do you feel about the fact that they leave their status as single and then tell you, well, they don't want the world to know? How would you feel about that, David?
Mine's single. Well, actually, I think that's not
You
right.
are single. You are single.
No wonder. Jeez. But how do I feel about that? I think that's terrible. When I was married, I actually only had about 82 Facebook friends, and I would never like indulge in. I wouldn't even invite. Like I'd have women go, "Hey, what's your Facebook handle or whatever, or what's your Facebook page, or get requests," and I would just no, So I had like 82 people who were on my Facebook page. I have actually close to 83 now.
Ah, rubbish. You've got thousands and thousands of women chasing after you. Okay, so quickly, guys, those of you listening, we need to know that you're there. Tell us if your other half either hid their relationship status or insisted on leaving us single, how would you feel? And you're on Talk Talk with Shanti Niven and David Lofi. Tonight's subject is social media and relationships. More specifically, how does social media affect our relationships? Where is social media going to fit into our relationships? Where should we put it? And I want to really stress that we really want it to be about balance. You can, if you're watching by way of YouTube, which we do share the video again later on YouTube, then please subscribe and like, because we are trying to build our YouTube following. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, go pop into YouTube, find our channel and look for us. You'll see our faces in there. Just put hashtag Real Talk Talk, I think, right? And find our channel and just support us. We really want to get this message out. Very soon you'll be knowing more about what it is that our cause is, and we're going to ask you to support the cause. And the cause really is to bring about social change, to show people that there is another way. There is so much violence in today's world, so much attacking, people, adults really bullying one another, that we want to show people that you can disagree. You can have different politics. You can have very strong and different views, but you can still get along. And that's really the preferable way to be. Look at David Lofi and me.
So David Wiley says marriage is forever. He gives my husband a thumbs down.
No, because my husband, not your husband.
Oh, okay. Just say, I give your husband.
The
I
next
was
part of my story with my husband was that very soon after I noticed that he just wasn't changing his status, was that 90% of the friends on Facebook were women, and mostly attractive women, and a lot of them were scantily clad. And the other sign that I would have is I would walk in when he was on Facebook and immediately the window would come down, right? You know, there'd always be some sort of, he's got to hide
Yeah,
this.
it's not good.
Now, I will tell you, I'm not a jealous person, and I know that men are visual. They're going to look. I have no problem with that whatsoever. My current boyfriend is really good with that. He only seems to have eyes for me, and I applaud him for showing me that that is the way he is. He doesn't even look at other women. But I would find I was becoming very insecure because he was, you know, he was looking at other women, and it would make me feel insecure. So now I want to ask you girls, how do you feel? And it's normal for men to look, but how do you feel when men obviously look at other women on Facebook, or look, especially when they're looking at women in bikinis or scantily clad women? How do you feel?
So Jill Beth says, if I'm married, you bet the status will be married. Others need to know that I am not available or looking for someone. And then Brian Liggett says, how do you have a relationship with someone who's deceptive or misleading? It's a good question. An incorrect or hidden relationship status is deceptive, right?
Right. Now, again, my boyfriend and I took a decision not to share our relationship status for quite a while until we felt really certain in our relationship and that it was going to head towards permanence. And then we both changed our status. And
A baby.
by the way,
Okay, there's no baby. I just
I have a baby, David Lofi. You will be the godfather.
Aw.
So, and if I get married, you're going to give me away. Do you know that? Because I don't have a dad.
Oh, okay. I'll give you away.
Oh, you're just going to give me away, just
Does
like
that mean I no longer have to be responsible for you?
Brat.
Now I give you away.
The things that this man has been saying today, we have these conversations, and I got to tell you, if some of them had to be on here, they probably should belong on Uncensored, because he talks about what he has to put up with from me. And I mean, really, I'm an easy person. You
Yeah.
roll your eyes. I am so easy to get along with. I'm so placid and easy going. What?
No, absolutely. I'm not.
I am. I'm always laughing. I'm always happy. And then you go on and act like I'm really difficult.
No, not at all.
Dan Peterson says bunches of babies.
Bunches of babies.
Well, at least we can try, right?
Right. A lot of practice.
But Dan Wiley says he's a good
Uh,
guy. He is a good guy. Okay, so I was asking the girls, how do you feel, girls, and we need you to speak up now. If your man is on social media and he's looking at photographs of other women. Now, I'm not just talking about headshots. I'm talking about he's actually looking through albums of women scantily clad, because a lot of women on Facebook are actually, and I do find this, you know, unless you are specifically promoting yourself as a model, but there are a lot of women that I wonder, why are you posting photographs of yourself? I mean, I have had a pair of boobs, a pair of breasts, I guess you could call them, send me a friend request. I mean, the headshot, the profile photograph is a big pair of knockers. I'm like, what?
They sent you a request?
I got a friend request from somebody whose Facebook profile picture was just a big pair of knockers.
I
Well,
got a request from them too. Did you accept it? Just asking.
David, the big question is, did you accept the friendship request from knockers?
I was already friends with knockers.
That's why she got one of those friend suggestions.
Well, I don't know. I've had a few. I've had a couple shots. It's like, whoa, weird. Close.
This is the thing, girl. You
I
find,
try to avoid the ones now that say image.
okay, Jill,
We sent you an image. I'm like, oh no.
it exaggerates our insecurities that we aren't good enough. So this
Right.
be a subject on one of the future shows because, look, I'm going to speak for the girls tonight. You guys do feed into our insecurities. We know that you're visual. We know that you like a pretty face and a nice body. But every woman, and I mean the most beautiful woman, David Lofi, would you just pipe down for a second? Even,
Ridiculous.
even the most beautiful woman in the world have, and I've met a couple that are just so incredibly gorgeous women, have insecurities about something or other. And even the most beautiful women in the world have been cheated upon. And we have that insecurity. So it's very important for you to reassure us that we are enough, right? And I agree, David's got massive integrity. And I think he is going to make somebody, one day he'll find the right woman who would appreciate who he is. And see, I suddenly get a little bit tearful when I think about that, because honestly, if anybody deserves a good relationship and a woman who appreciates him, this guy does. Okay. Mary says, I'm extremely careful on Facebook, even with old high school guy pals. If they are married or involved, I'm very respectful of our conversations. And rarely will I have a messenger conversation. I believe men look at cheating very differently than women. Most of my married couple friends have mutual profiles, which personally I think is smart. You and your partner may be honest, but it's others that are not so respectful.
Oh, mutual profiles.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about that, and maybe it works for some people. I have my profile, I have my pictures that I post. I mean, maybe if you had your own profile and you had like a mutual or family, I don't know. I don't.
Now, I again believe if strokes for folks, right? We were going to do a little snap survey as well. I want to still hear from the ladies. We're going to do another survey in a little bit of time. So we really want you guys to invite your friends right now. Tell them about the show, because we're going to ask you guys questions. We're going to ask you questions. So we're going to do a snap survey in a minute about whether you have a joint profile. Actually, I have a sister and brother-in-law who do. Profiles, individual profiles that you share with one another, in other words, you openly share passwords, or privacy. Which one would you go for of those three? We're going to ask that survey in a minute. But I really want you girls to share your feelings about your man, your guy, your boyfriend, your lover, your husband, checking other women out on Instagram or whatever social media. How does it make you feel? I really want the guys to, I mean, it's kind of normal for them to want to look at pretty things, but how does it make you feel? Let's share that.
Well, girls look at flowers all the time, and they're pretty.
That's it.
I'm gonna be killed tonight.
Don't look at babies. We look at puppies and
Puppies and flowers,
flowers and babies. Yeah,
kitty cats.
he's incorrigible. David Wiley said, you better read that one.
You accept what you see. You see, and sometimes accept integrity, respect, including yourself, service and excellence, or service excellence. I think that talking about that, I was actually contemplating, I do see like a joint Facebook page as something that could work, but I also see it as something that could be some conflict in some areas too. So
Here's an interesting one. Before I give an interesting one, you do the promo, David.
yeah, so I'm going to do that. We are on Talk with David Lofi and the wonderful Shanti Niven. You can catch us on our YouTube. We have our previous shows, different topics. Tonight's topic is social media and relationships, how they're affected overall. You can catch us on Facebook. We have multiple Facebook pages. I think we should probably go through those. We have Talk Parenting. We have Talk Confidential, Talk Happy Place, Talk Lifestyle. Something I don't see a lot of activity in. I'm going to be posting some things in there here for Valentine's Day. We have Talk Uncensored, and new one, Talk Money. And Talk Money talks about your finances, thinking about bringing in some dough, saving some dough, investing some dough, saving some dough with your taxes, which is tax season, and there is actually a tax expert in there.
It's IRS, somebody who's with the IRS is there to help you with tax questions. So I also want to mention we bought in Talk Money, because people ask, well, what's that got to do with relationships and our sort of core message? Well, I think it was said at one stage that money is the biggest cause of breakdowns in relationships. But one of the things that I personally, why I got involved with this, is because I'm an entrepreneur, so is David. That's one of the things we really do have a strong connection in, that we're both entrepreneurs. But it also struck me how many of our members are struggling, really struggling financially, or have got problems in this area. And so my heart is really to try and help people, lift them up and to help them. And David feels the same way. We're very much on the same page with this. So we thought what we'd do is we bring this in, and we've got great plans for this to help you find ideas to make money, find ideas to save money, invest, all that kind of stuff. David invests so well. His portfolio is doing crazy well at the moment. And so he's going to be giving some great business advice as well. Now, I just want to read this. Sarah Rowe Belatis, I guess, said she gives her husband a gift card to a coffee titty stand. Sorry,
A coffee titties?
It
It says titty stand.
I guess it's a place where
What's
you get
that? I'd want to go there just to like say I've experienced it. That's it. At least once in my life, right?
jealous or have no trust, never going to work. He can look all he wants. What we fought about in our 20s doesn't matter in your 40s. Now, I will say
Coffee titty stand. I'm sorry.
very big of you, Sarah, but I don't know if I could accept that. It's not because I just feel like, you know what, if he wants, when he's younger and he can go and look at titties, but right, you know, it's just my, it's not insecurity. I'm not jealous at all. Not at all. But I would not be happy with my man going to a titty bar. Not
Is
at all.
that, is that like a Starbucks?
It'd be like Hooters. Now, I'll tell you what's funny about Hooters is Hooter in where I come from is a horn.
You know what it is here?
What?
You know what it is here?
I do now. When I said to somebody once that I don't use my Hooter in traffic, I very quickly learned what it means here.
Why would you use an owl in traffic?
I'm talking about my Hooter, my horn. Boop, boop.
Hooters are owls.
Okay, yes. All right.
I'm
Mary
sorry.
said something that you got to read.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Mary Bavaro, looking and talking communication is very different. A man told me recently that he has a female friend and fantasizes about many of them. Really? I think anyone who, or Sarah Balafas, I think anyone who has a joint anything is weird. Need to be individuals and want to come together, not FB or the bank. Yeah, I mean, that depends on the people. I mean, it depends on the relationship. I think a young relationship could probably be a little bit more comfortable if they kind of grew into that. As we get older and we bring different things into maybe a relationship from previous relationships, it could be a little bit different.
Hi, Jeffrey.
I've already had my things. You've already had
Jack.
yours, right? Who gives up their page? Who, you know, so maybe you have a joint page. So there's a lot of different things you could do or that could add or not add to that.
Here's my suggestion, my personal suggestion. And again, David's quite right in what he says. I 100% agree with David on this point in that it is individual and every relationship is individual as well, because you may have a relationship where you as a couple decide that there is no secrets. You're going to have joint accounts, you're going to have whatever, that's the couple thing. I'm very independent. However, I'm incredibly loyal in a relationship. So when I'm in a relationship, there is no way I'm going to be doing anything that is going to make my partner hurt because I know how it feels to hurt. But I also fiercely protect my individuality. I don't believe that when you get into a relationship, I would protect his as well. You own that person. I want my husband to be an individual on his own and have his own interests. I want to have my own interests and I want us to come together. And I do agree with Sarah in terms of there needs to be trust. Having said that, when there is suspicious behavior, like I experienced in my last marriage, then I began to feel very, very insecure. And I started thinking there's something wrong. And sure enough, he did get involved in a relationship and was cheating. And so that was devastating for me, very, very devastating for me. And I think that when you open the door to that sort of secretiveness and that covertness, and there's a level of excitement about that, you know, I mean, you could have a beautiful person at home who just worships you and loves you and wants to do things for you. And my ex has often said that I was a really great wife. He often says it, still says it. But somehow the temptation was there, right? Okay, do you want to read some more?
Yeah, but that's not your fault in any way. That's that other person's fault. Well, Ellie kindly added in that it's a barista stand in lingerie. Not that you guys ever see that. I just thought I'd read it because I didn't know that existed. Where are the
Listed either a titty coffee bar.
you Google it? No, anyways, Brian Liggett says, when I see joint B or FB account, my first thought is someone cheated. That's
Ooh.
a very good possibility, or somebody doesn't have as much trust in that too, that that grew to that factor that they needed a joint account. But in my relationship, I'm always the one, hey, if you want to see something, go ahead. I got nothing to hide. But I do like to have my stuff, my privacy with things. And in my past, one of my exes wanted to go through my phone, and I was like, here you go. Let me see your phone. No, you can't see mine. I felt that was a little unfair. I'm thinking, wait here. That's a double standard, and I'm just not big on double standards. And so I even let her go through the phone. I'm like, I have nothing to hide. Go ahead. So
If there's one thing somebody had to ask me about you that I know, and I know you very well,
you
like I
told
would
them?
know you very well, is that you are very much in your brain is about scales of justice. It really,
Equality. My brain is all about equality. Everything's equal.
and it is about what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and you
Right.
very much do that. It has to be fair, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sarah says she agrees with Brian, and I think that, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a snap survey quickly with all of you guys. So let's do these choices. We want to do joint everything. We lose our identity. Two people become absolutely one in every sense. That means we have joint everything, joint Facebook, joint bank accounts, joint. That's A, choice A. Choice B is we come together as one. We're a married couple. However, we retain our individuality, and we have separate Facebook, separate email, separate everything, but we openly share passwords. There is nothing hidden. That's choice B. Choice C is there is no difference. We are individuals, and we have a right to our privacy, or privacy, as some people say. We have separate accounts on everything, and we don't share our passwords, and we're allowed to have our secrets. So please vote very quickly.
So
A,
go ahead.
you repeat it, David?
You repeat it.
Because he's forgotten.
Well, I know that.
A is you don't have any identity outside the relationship. It's joint everything. Joint bank accounts, joint social media accounts. You just are one person now. The couple are one. And you don't see yourself in any other way. The second one is you're individual. You still have your individual interests, but and separate Facebook and whatever it is, but you are open and share passwords. And C is there's complete individuality and there's some privacy. In other words, you don't have to share stuff because there's complete trust. A, B, or C?
Mhm. Mary Kiefert says it does exist. It's called Pink Panthers Espresso.
Okay, David's going to be Googling that tomorrow.
I'm looking that up. Where's the
I'll tell
Pink
you girls,
Panther?
he is a bit of a breast
Now,
man. He's a booby man. He is.
I'm not.
He
Everything.
is.
I'm open to everything.
You see, he's embarrassed, like he's blushing.
I'm an equal opportunist. All right.
Brian Liggett, I love you. And by the way, you know what? Jill has got herself a great catch in Brian, because those two, by the way, is it okay, Brian? I hope you guys don't get insulted by this, but Brian and Jill actually met each other through Talk Talk. So I think they're our first Talk Talk relationship, our first Talk Talk couple. So we want to nurture these two and see them happy and have a happy relationship. But the way Brian talks about Jill is so precious. It just makes my heart melt. And you can tell that Jill just loves as well.
Let's all give them a thumbs up. Give them all thumbs up.
Thumbs up, yeah. Give them a thumbs up. If you love this relationship, which I do, it's so romantic. Give it a love. No, give it a heart.
No, thumbs up. You were right. Thumbs up. I got you. I love that when you went, oh yeah, give a thumbs up. I'm like, oh, this doesn't get any better. She's even agreeing with me.
Straight into that little hole. Whoa, David Lofi is evil. Okay, we're supposed to be voting for David Lofi with a thumbs up and for me with a little heart, and he just caught me.
Thumbs up.
So Laura Regnacoli, I learned how to pronounce her name. Regnacoli, it's Italian.
Nicole.
She says C. Jill Best says B. Brian said B, of course. So they're good that they agree on that. Sarah Balafa says B and some C. Dan Peterson, who's my other half, says B, which means he's going to want my passwords.
What's yours?
Mary, what's mine?
Are you A, B, or C?
I'm definitely not an A. I'm B with C as well. I don't believe, I think, the requirement to have my password says to me, you don't trust me. However, I have nothing to hide. There'll never be I'll close windows down. You can look at my,
Right.
you can
The
look at my
problem with
Facebook chat.
Yeah, the problem with having some of these passwords is one is security. You really shouldn't give your password everybody. I don't know if everybody knows. I have a master's in cybersecurity, and one of the things you never do, even in your tech admin guys, when they're like, "Oh, give me your password," don't do that. For one, they could be spoofing you. But so I wouldn't. That's not one thing you want to do is give your password, and that could lead to also something missing. Now you've started a fight because something was removed. You removed it, but you think the other person did because they removed. It's just like, what a mess. You've lived your whole life. We're not 16 and going, oh, here's, let's share account. It's, but I mean, I'm a CB person too. I want to have my privacy and also have that. Go ahead and.
Norma says, Bad says B, Richard Bazila says B and C. I want to tell you another little, it does sound like I'm really giving my ex a little bit of a hard time. And I don't want to do that. I'm just using this as an example, but I was sharing with you that he would appear single on Facebook and a lot of secrecy and stuff regarding that. However, he would get on my Facebook account. And if somebody was flirting with me, because, women always get it, but the girls will tell. We get men coming. I mean, men chase us all the time, right? So it happens. Most of the time, we just ignore it. And then every now and again, we get the dick pic. It happens. But I would point it out to my other half, right?
But so you missed something.
He would go into my Facebook account though, and he would reply as me. That I did not like. And yes, you're on Talk with Shanti Niven and David Lofi. Sorry, I started choking.
Don't choke.
David Lofi.
Wait till after the show.
David Lofi, right over there, the handsome dude on my whatever side he's on, and Shanti Niven on Talk. And we are coming to you live from Facebook, our Facebook group, which is at the moment Real Talk. We have a bunch of other groups, as you've seen. All of them are subsidiary. You have to belong to our main group. If you're asking why we have all these other groups, well, it's to provide a specific service. Uncensored has turned into just that. You can say whatever you want with impunity. But, we're not responsible for what goes down in Talk Uncensored. Talk Private is where you can share your private questions. We
Confidential.
have on board a psychotherapist. He's a leading relationship expert, also trauma-informed counselor. He's really brilliant, Joe Whitcomb. He's there. He's helping with podcasts. So we're going to be doing different things that will help you if you've got areas of trauma, you've been through some bad experiences, that's the place to go. We've got Talk Lifestyle, which is also about cookery, gardening, DIY, all sorts of fun stuff. And we've got Talk Happy Place, which is where we send you if you're being a grump. If you're being grumpy and mean, you go to Talk Happy Place. And the last one, what's the last one? Talk. Money.
Huh?
Money.
Well, money and parenting. I don't think you said parenting.
Parenting, yeah.
And it's Talk Confidential. I think you said Talk Private, but
Talk. I don't know, I'm so confused.
you're coughing, you're kind of choking, so.
It's run by Jessica Lynn. She's doing a great job.
She's doing a great job. Jeffrey Coistro, I've had too many online friends telling me things about themselves that they did not want anyone else to know, wife included, to allow for a joint account. I don't know where they said stuff online openly on their page.
Oh, look at what Brian said. Oh,
he makes my heart melt too.
My heart melt too. I love Brian and Jill. It's so wonderful. Mary says, but I think Shanti's relationship is adorable. Thank you, Mary.
Look at that.
I do too.
Nobody says anything about my relationship. I have two
relationship with yourself.
I got 2 dogs. They're great. Anyways, Jill has my phone pin and has her password. What?
I forgot about that blonde that you. Gigi. That French blonde that keeps you company in your bedroom.
Right.
Gigi.
I have 2 women who sleep with me.
I know, it's disgusting.
All a couple bitch.
Don't even talk about it. I don't want to listen to
Jill has my phone pin and master's password for my password management software.
Wow.
That's cool. Like or not, sometimes social media is like,
I bet you she doesn't use it. Sorry.
I just don't lock my phone. Well, that's probably not as good because you should have a lock on there, even though you could give it to the other person. The lock on there ensures that somebody else is not able to go into your phone and put some type of software on there. Some of it, keystroke logger. Keystroke logger is when you type anything, it actually sends information out to somebody else. So there's software that can be easily installed. If you leave your phone sitting somewhere, they swipe it for just a few seconds, they can get something on there. So you might consider that a little bit differently. Brian Liggett, as an IT guy who consults with banks, David is right. However, if I can't trust my love, then I shouldn't be in a relationship with her. Well, that's a very good point. It doesn't mean that you don't have to, but I mean, if you want, yeah, I think that breaks down the barrier of trust because it's like the trust is, I don't have to give you all that stuff, but it's up to the relationship and how the two people are with it. I mean, if that's,
Janelle just joined us. Hello, Janelle. She said she forgot it's Wednesday at 6. Yes. So for those, sorry we're confusing you. Back on hump day. Wednesdays at 6 from now on. But the good news is that David, Lofi, and myself from this Friday morning, we're going to be doing a podcast where those of you who want to be traveling and listening to us in your ear, we're going to be doing Lofi and Shanti FM.
We did that today.
We did. We had actually a really heartwarming little.
Mary Kiefert says, "Are you in a relationship?" David Lofi. With my dogs. They love me.
You know what, Mary? We are living in hope that someone who's good enough for him. And by the way, just for the record, and don't bitch about this, because any woman who's interested in him is going to come to have an interview with me.
Yeah, she says she has to do interviews. She has an application online. If you go to her website, Shanti Niven, it is under the tab David Lofi application for dating.
I ain't letting any girl hurt him.
It's a PDF of only 350 questions, really easy to fill out. Then you have to go through the interview process
with a team of
the oral interview, and then
Jill Best said she did not ask for the pin. Well, that's a huge thing of trust. And sometimes, let's be honest, men can be stupid. In that they don't know. For example, a big-hearted guy, a damsel in distress calls out, asks for some help. And you know what I mean? Men don't really think about how this could affect the woman in their relationship. I do vote for total trust. It starts with trust. If you lose my trust, then I'm going to be a little suspicious, and
right.
Things are going to change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. She's on the East Coast.
Yeah,
we love
tonight.
you.
10 o'clock.
Joining us tonight.
She's not even playing the game. She's not going to stay for the game.
Well, we have 10 minutes left. We don't even know what the game is. We completely failed on that one.
We did fail on that. It's been a busy week. We've got a lot of things that have been put together and different things.
Mary says, you're safe, you're young. You know what? It's true. I think he's only now starting to get attractive.
Who?
You.
Oh, me. Talking about me. Oh. You're on Talk with David Lofi and Shanti Niven. Catch us on our YouTube channel. You can watch our past shows and update from our current shows coming in there. You can also please subscribe, like, and share. Catch us on Facebook every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Getting Over the Hump. That's this show. That's
the whole idea. We do want to. We want to go back a little bit to sort of more like we want to go back more into where we're discussing serious subjects, because we've been talking about narcissism and cheating and all that kind of stuff. But we do want this show to be just two ordinary people having conversations and getting you to chat and talk about stuff. Because, hey, we're not telling you how it is. We just want to converse and even, as I say, disagree and show that we can get along and do that. We do want to discuss serious subjects, but we want to have some fun too. We want to get you over the hump. And so if you've got any ideas for topics for shows, please just throw them on the group. Oh, Jessica Lynn gave us some love. Oh,
Mary
I love
Keeper wants you to do interviews for her too.
listen to what Jessica Lynn wrote.
I saw, yeah. That's cute.
You two are so amazing, and I absolutely love your friendship. I do too. Mary says it's awesome. I wish my friends would interview the guy for me. Well, you know what? We might just do that, Mary. Our favorite regulars like you and the others, we actually have had this idea of that any guy that's interested in our Talk ladies, we thought about interviewing them on the show. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it, David?
That would be hilarious. We'd have some questions. Like there's some dad questions in there.
Big hug for you. Oh my
So if
goodness.
you went out the first night, what time would you bring her home? Right? If you came and picked her up.
You know, and that's another interesting thing as well. What questions would the girls want to ask of the men, and what questions would the men want to ask of the women? Like the girls might want to ask if they're financially stable, and a guy might want to ask if what? I don't know. You're a guy, David. Say something.
I don't know what guys. Other
What
guys.
is being? He's being very wise and not saying anything.
Um,
Yes, but what was the majority vote for the A, B, or C? I think it was B. Right?
pretty
That
sure it's B.
people should stay individual, but not have secrets between you. And I think that's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit divided about the password thing. I think, you know, if my other half had to ask me for a password, I might feel like he doesn't trust me.
That's the other side of that.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's not that I have anything to hide. I really don't. At any time he could say, I want to look at your whatever. Look at your whatever. Okay, I've got to make sure I am specific. He could at any time want to look at my Facebook Messenger or anything.
What are you saying?
Exactly. I do have I have foot and moutholitis. We all know that. Love me, you got to love my mouth.
That's it. Daunting, Niven. It never ends.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me?
I hope the end does.
Help me. Give me that, people. Just make me feel better about myself, because really I have a problem. I mean,
I liked your post this week from John Siren.
oh, what about the what you mean that you got,
I don't get it. I don't see it.
okay, so John Siren, who may or may not be watching the show right now, sent me a comment, said apparently he says I look like a young Elizabeth Taylor and David looks like Gene Simmons. Oh, you've got the tongue. You did. Oh my, David, put that tongue away. It's obscene. It is.
What did he used to do? I don't remember.
Put that tongue away. Oh my God, I never realized.
Huh?
Why is your tongue so big? There's something wrong with it. No, stop it. It's disgusting. Put that away. And you know what? He's
That's terrible.
put that obscene thing away. All right. So please, could you guys, if you're watching the show, we've only got a few minutes left. Tell us if you think if David had to shave, if he had to put these little glasses on and he had to put the black hair on like Gene Simmons, do you think he could look like a young Gene Simmons?
Did he have the star? No, he had
Audra says, I
he's
love
from
Audra.
Kiss, if you guys don't know who he is.
Audra says, oh man, you really leave yourself open to great burns, Shanti. I got to confess something, Audra. This has actually been a problem all my life. You know, I don't know if I believe in star signs, but I'm a Saggy, so is David. We're apparently supposed to suffer from lack of tact. Diplomacy was never my strong suit. I really try hard because my intention is never to hurt anybody. But, you know, I do kind of, as I think something comes out of my mouth, and sometimes it comes out all wrong. And so, like saying to David that I think I need a fluffer. That was.
Well, you didn't know what a fluffer was. I'll give you
What
that.
a fluff.
It was hilarious. I was rolling.
I could not understand what was all the funniness was, laughter was, but I've never heard of a fluffer in my life. I mean, where does that name come from? Fluffer. It sounds like
I
someone
have
who's
no
fluffing.
idea.
It's just a,
What? What's FMPs? Where'd that come from?
So Jill Bear said, I thought Gene Stapleton. I got them confused. Okay, not David looking like Gene Stapleton. Who do you guys think he looks like? I think he looks like a little like Val Kilmer mixed with, who's that other dude that you always get mixed with?
The people I've been called Val Kilmer in Hawaii on the beach. Like
Yeah.
these people, you could hear them over there, like saying, "Is that Val Kilmer? Has he got kids? I don't know. If he got like what?"
Yeah, but what was the other guy that you're supposed to look like?
It was an elevator in Vegas at Mandalay Bay. These people got on the elevator, they got off, and they go, I can't think of his name. I was like, keep thinking Val Kilmer. It's
No,
yeah.
Matt Damon's friend. Who's Matt Damon's
Yeah.
friend? I've also went blank. Matt Damon's friend, the big dude.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So they
much.
got that. They go, we are just the George Clooney, and they're like, we were on the elevator with Ben Affleck.
Now so you get Ben Affleck and Val Kilmer. Now we've heard you look like the tongue guy.
I think they look like David Lofi, but
I think I look like Shanti Niven, but I've been told I look like Linda Carter from Wonder Woman. I've been told a lot that I look like Elizabeth Taylor, younger, which is, I can't even see that. I can't, I take it as a huge compliment. I can't see that. I used to be told I look like Jacqueline Bisset, like also Liz Hurley, I've been told. I've had a lot of different comparisons. Apparently, I have a very common face. Jeffrey Questra says, when you're married to a narcissist, the last thing you want is a joint account. You'll be interrogated about what she found on it every day. Oh my goodness, yes. And
right. And the gaslighting begins.
Right. And then it's your fault that somebody's flirting with you when it's not your fault, right?
Right. Yeah, no, that would not be good. That's a very good point right there.
Now, here's a bit of advice
That would be good.
I want to give, and David, I want to know if you agree with this. I do think in a relationship, it's natural to feel some insecurity and jealousy, but I think that if you offer your trust and then to me, if you make that person excited to come home, in other words, you are just happy to see that person and you're the person that they fell in love with, right? You're happy and you're doing all the right things, not all the right things, but you just are that person. But if you are going to be bitter and jealous and suspicious, you're actually going to increase the odds of that man wanting to stray. It's like, oh my God, I'm coming home and it's always been bombarded with insecurity and jealousy. So my advice to the ladies would be a lot of, just chill and be the person he fell in love with. What do you say, David?
I think that goes kind of both ways, being excited coming home. Like the person on the other side of the door who's coming in the door should take a breath and go, I'm coming home. And the person who's coming in or is inside waiting for the person. I used to have a girlfriend who did that. I mean, I would come over and knock on the door. You could hear her like running down the stairs.
Oh.
So, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. It's gonna read them. But I was younger and stupid, dumb, full of something. I don't know.
That one up. You screwed that one up.
I did not.
Oh, okay. I would ask. I think it's so important if we leave the show with one thing, and that is what I want you all to do. Whoever's in your life, your significant other, even if you don't have a significant other, practice it with the people around you. Make real eye contact. It's just really look at a person for a change and pay attention to them. Listen to what they have to say. Smile. Make them feel like you're happy to see them. I think that's why a dog is a man's best friend, because they always look happy to see us. When you come over, anyone comes over here, Maggie, when the people she loves, she looks so happy to see you, right?
Yeah.
Take a lesson from a dog. Or just look happy to see your other half.
My dogs are happy, and I know after I've left for sometimes a day or something, they shouldn't be happy, but they still put on a happy face for me.
Right. And remember there was that joke about put your wife and the dog in the car and lock them in the trunk. And in half an hour, who's happy to see you? That's why
There's it.
and that's why a dog is a man's best friend. Okay.
That's right.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Social media and relationships. Please share more of your views on our page, on our group, on Facebook, and from David Lofi.
Yep, and Shanti Niven.
We say goodbye.
Bye.